We all dream of the perfect union. When we begin a new relationship, there are lots of chemicals, in the infatuation phase that makes us believe that we are opening our hearts to each other. But are we really? And what does it mean to really open our hearts to each other? Hello, my name is Valdo Lallement. I'm a relationship coach. I studied the vibrant couple to further my purpose of liberating love to connection and playfulness. Today I'm walking uphill in beautiful Maui. I am in the Makawao Valley. It's a beautiful eucalyptus forest. Enjoy. So, what does it mean to open our hearts to each other? Before we get started, I believe it is really important that we talk about a continuum between immaturity and maturity. So we are all born immature, we are all born self-centered, and all of us have the opportunity to basically grow and become more and more interested in others, centered upon serving others. When we are immature, we are basically centered on ourselves. We are driven by our unmet needs. And basically, we deserve that others treat us the way we should be treated. And I'm pretty sure you know the kind of drama that happens in those situations. On the maturity, which is basically intentionally being conscious of becoming a gift to others, this is a path that requires a lot of work, but this is a path that brings joy and a general sense of ease. In our Disney instant gratification culture, basically, which is very immature, we have the tendency to believe that intimacy should be spontaneous. I believe that is a grave mistake because that prevents us from seeing the beauty of the work to create mature intimacy. So, if you are interested in designing, co-creating, cherishing and practicing intimacy where we really open our hearts to each other, keep on going. We have two individuals driven by their needs. So you may remember, unmet needs, immature, mature, we are driven by meeting needs. And so how do we create in our couple a sense of safety and also a sense of excitement of doing the work together to open our hearts to each other? So I invite you to learn about needs, learn about your needs, learn about your partner's needs, and also learn about your needs in your couple, which are very specific, often very different, and somehow match. So women, and I'm going to say women because I work primarily with cisgender heterosexual couples, but I could say, beings with a feminine essence, and for men, I could say beings with a masculine essence. I could not care less here about gender orientation, sexual orientation, or even the status of your partnership, whether you're married or not. I'm often going to say man and wife or husband and wife just by simplification. If those terms upset you, please forgive me, and hopefully you'll keep watching. So, women have 5 very specific needs in their romantic relationship. They want to be valued, they want to be cherished, they want to be connected, they want to be claimed. And so here claimed does not mean I own you. Here claim means I choose you. And of course, they want to be desired. There are many cultures in which women are not valued. I am so glad we live in a culture that does value women. There is still a long way to go, but this is much better than, the patriarchal oppression that is still in many places in the world. The equivalent to being cherished is to be trusted, and then goes along with a consideration when, and I'm going to jump in, women do not consider men, they do not trust men either to do the right thing, to show up the right way. The equivalent to the paramount need for women to feel connected, especially in sex, is to feel enlivened. And so men are often, mission-driven, action-driven, and we are very dry. And we need the beauty, the aliveness of the feminine to bring basically levity and play and excitement in our otherwise fairly gray world. Women have a paramount need to be claimed, to be chosen. And so if a woman tells her husband, I claim you, I choose you, he will say, thank you, darling. But what does that mean? And so what it does matter to a man is that he feels special, he feels your hero because of the way you respond to him choosing you. And of course, as women, men need to feel sexually desired. A couple becomes an opportunity to heal our wounds, to learn and grow together, to become more mature. The question becomes, how do I open his heart? How do I open her heart? Especially when we feel at odds with each other. So here I'm going to use a cliche of intimacy being spelled into me, you see, which is beautiful, but it lacks two very important components. The first one is to become more mature, you have to know yourself. So phase one is into me, I see. Even though that may sound strange, the second part is much more challenging and counterintuitive, and that's into you, I can see. Because too often, the reason we cannot open our hearts to each other is because we do not feel loved. We do not feel that there is a space for us to be ourselves. I am assuming you are seeing the importance of learning to be present with yourself and to learn to be present with your partner. But how do you apply that in real life? I am first going to give some insights to men on how they can better serve their feminine partner. So women feel, sense your feelings very acutely, and even more acutely, they sense your closures when you're not happy, when you are stressed, and they tend to take it personally or to make a story about it. And that is something that is part of their beauty and part of the huge challenges of being a feminine being, because it is really difficult to get out of that by oneself. So here comes the hero who basically brings structure and invites her to see into him. So women know how you feel, and so you must share what it is that you feel, because it may be slightly different from what they are sensing because of the story making. And more importantly, you must share the context, because the context is what will help them release their stories, because they will know why you are feeling upset. They will know why you are feeling whatever you are in the moment. So here are two examples. The first one is, darling, I feel upset because I have this deadline at work that I'm worried I won't be able to finish on time. So you can imagine that now she can relax. She knows it is not about her that something is troubling you. It is about a work project. So example number two is actually about her, but there are ways to express it in a way that diffuse any blaming. So for example, you could say, darling, I feel sad because I am making the story that you are resisting sex with me. And you can see how much easier it is to hear that than basically a man that is upset and that doesn't say why, and you have a good idea it's about sex, but the way he is basically not turning you on. So men, women want a man who is comfortable with himself, confident, who is willing to share what is going on. There is in our, manosphere, toughen up culture, the illusion that men become vulnerable and become basically wusses when they share what is going on. The opposite is true. Women trust more a man who is willing to share what is going on, especially when he's upset with her. So here I want to clarify what we men want is an authentic man who is both sensitive and assertive. So if a man is sensitive without the assertiveness, that's a nice guy, total sexual turn-off. If a man is just assertive without sensitivity, there may be some sexual turn-on, but it's not possible to have a satisfying relationship with that man. So a man who is both sensitive, in touch with his feelings, he does not have to have long conversations, but darling, I'm pissed, this is just about my work, is more than enough to relax one's feminine partner nervous system. So how about men? These are beings that most women are attracted to, but somehow cannot fully understand. So women is really important, pay attention. Men want to make you happy. This is part of a man's DNA. However self-centered he is, he wants to make you happy. He wants to know what you want. He wants to know what you need so he can make you happy. I'm pretty sure I've said it enough times, and hopefully you will start believing me. So, an immature man will want to hear the positive, how well he romances you, how well he meets your needs, and of course, the typical immature man, how many orgasms he gave you. A mature man, on the other hand, will want to know all your feelings. When you express what you want and what you need, too often there is a lot of noise and he cannot hear you. So basically, you are getting more and more upset with him, and he's going to becoming more and more distant, disconnected, because he does not know how to listen to you. So men need to be considered. That means that you express to your best ability how you feel in a way that does not blame or judge or attack him. The second part is to be trusted. And so that means that you express yourself with the belief that not only he's going to hear you, but he's going to, as a result, provide you a gift that will bring happiness to you and to your couple. So for example, let's pretend you feel sad. A typical feminine expression would be, I feel sad because this, because that. And women, if you think I'm exaggerating a little bit, pause the button and ask your husband, and I'm pretty sure that 99% of men will say, darling, this is true. Please do not take my strong facial expression as contempt or judgment or disapproval. I really want to be working with what is, so that we can see the times we show up from our immature place, and we can see and honor the places when we work towards maturity. The second example I'm going to use involves him, and is in the situation in which you are upset with him because he has some work to do that night. And so the immature way of saying that will be to attack him. I cannot believe you are going to work again tonight. Are you having an affair? Blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm pretty sure that content may not be the way your man has received it, but all men or most men are terrified of basically feeling attacked by a woman expressing what it is. So my invitation here is for you to express in a way that is not blaming him, and then you give him the gift to respond to you. So an example would be, darling, I am sad and upset. This has to do with you having to work tonight. And then, same as the first example, silence. You wait. You wait. You wait. So in this video, I am not going to address how are better ways for a conscious, mature man, a good man, to respond properly. What I am addressing is for you to create the safety for him to want to be your hero. So there is no question men want to be your hero, but often they don't feel they can. So silence, let him come to you, is the way to tell him, I trust you, I know you're a good man, I know you are going to respond in a way that appeases my nervous system, in a way that strengthens our couple. If this video inspired you to liberate more love in your couple, or to find a compatible partner with whom you will develop a joyful and very satisfying love partnership, I invite you to hit the like button below and subscribe so you can be notified when I publish new juicy content. And please share with all you believe would benefit. I look forward to seeing you very soon.